Okay. How much does it cost to reach your desired monthly income? How much does it cost to reach your desired monthly income? Right, and I should define cost. Cost equals your time, hours spent per day. Money, of course. Dollars spent per day. And then energy. How much of your energy does it cost? Like activity per day. Right? And let's break this down by looking at some different scenarios. So let's say your desired monthly income is $10,000 a month. Okay, no problem. Let's say that your average commission per close is something, a smaller margin, maybe like $500 per close. Okay, let's say that, so if your desired monthly income, is 10,000 and your commission is 500, then you need to close 20 per month in order to reach your desired monthly income, right? Closes. 20 closes per month. Let's say you have an average close rate, just to be conservative, of 30%, right? What does that mean? That means you need about 66 calls per month. Number of calls. If you get 66 at 30%, you'll close 20. At $500 a close, you'll reach $10,000 a month. Okay? So this is calls a month. Let's be very conservative and say you speak to half the leads that come in, which can't possibly be the case, especially if you are one of our clients, but we want to be conservative here. So let's say the number of leads is equal to, 133? 133 leads per month coming in, okay? Let's say your cost per lead is something like $20, just for ease of math. That means your ad spend for the month is roughly $2,666 per month in ad spend, right? So you spend $2,000 per, well, let's break it down a little bit more. So your daily spend, what is this, like $88 a day in ad spend, okay? So that'll get you basically like between like 4 leads, roughly 4 leads a day, right? And it's a smaller commission. Let's say it takes like an hour call. Let's say, because you get 2 calls and you spend 2 hours on those calls. 2 hours a day. 2 hours a day. Okay? So let's review this scenario. So basically, this individual wants to make $10,000 a day. That's their desired monthly income, okay? The commission is, per close, is $500. So they need 20 leads in order to do that. And in order to get the 20 leads a month that they close at 30%, they need to close they need to get 66 calls, which means they need 133 leads. Now at $20 per lead, that's just under $2,700 a month in ad spend, which is $88 a day, which will give them about 4 leads a day, roughly. And let's say they make 2 calls, 2 connections a day. That's 2 hours a day, okay? So 2 hours of work a day $88 with like $90 a day in ad spend. 30% close rate will get you 20 closes and make you $10,000 at $500 a close. Okay? So we have established sort of one of the scenarios. Now let's consider a scenario where they make more money per close. Let's say they make $1,000 per close. Still, desired monthly income is still 10K, but their average close now is $1,000. Okay, so that changes things a little bit, right? First thing it changes is that your number of closes drops significantly. So you only need 10 closes per month, right? Let's say your close rate is still the same, just to keep things straight. Let's say it's still 30%, okay? So that means you need 33 number of calls. You'll need 33 calls per month. So of course, 66 leads per month. Right? So you need 66 leads. If in the event you only speak to half of them, that's 33 calls of 30% of which you close. So that's 10 closes at $1,000 a close, which will give you $10,000 a month. Okay. So let's say the CPL is still the same at $20. That means your ad spend for the month is equal to what? It's like $1,320 a month, right? That's $44 a day in ad spend. And $44 a day, you'll get you what? Roughly 2 leads. And let's say because they are, let's say 2 leads, let's say 1 call, a call a day. And let's say the close time, or the activity time is 2 hours. It's like a 2-hour call on average for this $1,000 close. Okay. Let's say you want to make $30,000 a month, which is fine. Okay, so let's say the desired monthly income is now $30K. Let's say your average close is still the same at $1,000, right? So you have to close 30 leads in a month at $1,000 in order to make your 30K, right? Which means you'll need, what is that? That's 30 leads at a close rate of 30% equals 100 calls in a month. Which means, following our logic still, it's like 200 leads. 200 new leads coming in a month. Let's say your cost per lead is still the same at $20. So then your ad spend is $4,000. $4K a month. Right? That's like it's like 100, what is it? It's like $133 a day in ad spend. So it's like it's roughly 7, 6 to 7 new leads a day coming in. Let's say it's 3.5 calls. Let's say that's like 2 hours each. So let's call it 7 hours of activity a day, right? So let's look at this scenario now. For someone who's working the phones at least, or on a call 7 hours a day, 7 hours a day, 3.5 calls. The daily ad spend is $133 for someone who is looking to make 30 closes at $1,000 and make $30,000 a month. So you immediately see here, actually, let's do one more before we review. Let's say you want to make $100,000 a month, okay? Let me use Ray. Do I have Ray? Okay, so let's say your DMI, your desired monthly income is now 100K, which is great. Let's say your average close, just to keep it the same, honestly, for the ease of math, let's say it's $1,000, right? So how many closes do you need in a month? You need 100. 100 closes in a month. And if your close rate is still 30%, which it's highly unlikely that it would be if you're taking that many calls. But for the sake of math, even if your close rate is still 30%, even if it is, the number of calls you'll need is 300. Yeah. 300 a month, which means 600 leads come in a month. Let's say cost per lead is the same. It should be significantly lower at this point, but again, for the ease of the math, for the ease of the comparison, let's say it's the same. That means your ad spend, what are you looking at? Is that 12K? $12,000 a month in ad spend. So your daily spend is $400 a day. $400 a day, what is that? That's it's like 20 leads. 20 leads a day. Let's say you talk to 10 of them. Let's say it's 10 plus hours a day. It's going to be minimum 10 plus hours a day of work, activity of work, right? So now I wanted this out here, and I like to display this so that we can do the comparisons and really see what the real willingness that we have to spend our time, our money, and our energy is, right? So an insight to see here is that these two who make $10,000 a month both work roughly 2 hours a day, but one is on at least 2 calls and one's doing just 1 call. And that's simply because of the difference in the commission they get for what they provide. So it's important to know that, this person, you could argue works less, because even in the 2 hours a day, it's 2 calls, splits, maybe they're shorter. This person is on with 1 call for about 2 hours, trying to get that close. On average, daily. These are all daily averages, right? So that's for them, and the distinctness between a commission of 500 and one of 1,000, right? And also, this person, they're spending $88 while this person is spending $44 a month in order to reach the same outcome, solely based on the return. So that's an insight, just something to think about. Also here, the interesting thing here to think about is the fact that there's a jump here between 2 hours and 7 hours a day. That's, what is that? That's plus 5 hours a day of activity. But for that, there's a 3x increase in desired monthly income between here and here. right? So this person is working harder. I mean, roughly 3 times as hard, from 2 hours a day to roughly 7 hours a day, but it's more than 3 times, and they're making just about 3 times as much. So this person is actually working relatively harder, obviously harder, but also relatively harder in terms of the multiples on the return. So that's something to think about too, as well as like considering how much more you have to work in order to make more, and whether it's worth it to you. Maybe you want to keep this as a side, job, or you're doing something else. Me personally, I think you should just go for it, but it's up to you. It's just something to consider and think about. And as far as going for it, I like to point out here that this person's only working, not only, minimum 3 hours a day more, right? But this 3x is first of all, it's more than 3x. It's 3 plus x. This is a significant difference, right? Between $100,000 a month income selling the same thing as someone who's doing $30,000, selling something that gives them $1,000 return. Another important insight here that I like to show is that this person, in just ad spend, is spending more than these guys are even desiring for a monthly income. This person is spending $12,000 a month. And for that, in return for that spend, they've worked out the systems such that they make $100K. These guys aren't even desiring the $12,000, they just want the $10K, which you can have your reasons, but my point is that it's completely possible to do numbers. As long as you're able to work out what your costs are and then decide whether you're willing to spend for that return, or how much, how many hours a day, how much money in ad spend, and how much energy in activity you're looking to spend in order to reach your desired monthly income. And it's our job at RSH Leads, let me put this in blue. It's our job to reduce the time that you need to spend, reduce the cost that you need to spend over time, and then reduce the energy, especially that you put into manual activity, right? So with our technology, essentially the AI that we implement into your system, we reduce the time you need to spend. Well, we do that with working on your sales framework, which is a separate thing. I have many videos on that you can check out. But in the case of money, over time, reduce your ad spend, relative ad spend, or your cost per lead, right? And then I should say reduce your cost per lead, because your ad spend could be, more than someone else's desired monthly income. But as long as your system is working, then you're making significantly more, right? But you want to over time reduce the cost per lead so that you get more for each of your leads that come in. And also reduce your energy in that, all the manual activity that isn't FaceTiming with your leads and converting them into policyholders can be and should be farmed out, should be delegated. And so that comes into, AI callers, AI dialers, AI assistants, SMS bots, our advertising, the whole system automations, which we implement into your, into your account, into your campaign, so that you just spend more time on these calls and making your desired monthly income. Okay.